Okay, clip this for me because I won't get the exact time.
From 20,000 cases in 2003 to nearly 90,000 in 2023. Officials say construction of new homes is also causing ticks to spread into parts of the country they had not been seen before. And here's a reminder of what you need to do to prevent tick bites. Wear light-colored clothing.
Clip this for me so it has the exact time. Okay, so
Tick bites when you get inside.
Across the Empire State, more blue skies in the future. We'll get your forecast coming up.
food. Food. How did someone speedrun the game in under 7 minutes? Okay, I don't have any more time to get up. I really wasted a minute. At this rate, my speedrun's gonna be off 2 minutes long. Oh shit. Okay, I'm an amateur. Alright, I'm in Savannah. Okay, I should probably go with some wood.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Western Division Federal Credit Union, home of the Great Rate, voted best credit union of the 716.
I'm not breaking any world records. I don't ever. Not a chance. Okay. How'd it go?
This portion of the news is brought to you by Best Tile. Find your inspiration at Buffalo's largest tile and stone showroom on Pulpit Avenue. Best Tile. Beautiful rooms from start to finish.
And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I started
Someone was reading diamond this time. Die? I can't believe it.
place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
Sundays, Spectrum Newsroom presents In Focus New York with host Jody Kenny. Hear directly from the decision makers in your community.
Don't listen to that.
In-depth conversation that gets to the heart of the issues that matter to you. Your state, your issues, your show. In Focus New York. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1. Exclusively on Spectrum. Your weather experts with updates every 10 minutes on Spectrum News 1. Available on all your favorite devices, exclusively on Spectrum.
No villages nearby, and not lucky.
Out there, so something to keep in mind. You might want to grab a sweatshirt before you head out the door. Heading into your Thursday, temperatures are still in the low 70s. It's going to be a warm wet day, especially as some steady rain moves in for the afternoon and your evening hours. Then as we head towards Friday, it's going to be a sunny and cool day, actually. Temperatures could be in the mid-60s in Buffalo. Some areas maybe even a little bit cooler, but luckily we'll have some sunshine. And then as we head towards your Labor Day weekend, we're actually going to be seeing some pretty great weather, plenty of sunshine around, and temperatures are going to be warming up as well, especially heading towards Sunday and Labor Day itself. Here's how your futurecast will play out for your overnight hours. A couple of lake effect showers could hang around, but most of us looking at dry conditions as we head into your overnight hours, and that's how it's looking heading into your Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, definitely on the cooler side with temperatures
Okay.
very similar to the past
It's
couple
like an
of nights,
hour.
but we should be dry to start off those morning
Front
hours. Most of
mod.
Wednesday, actually, we're going to be dealing with very dry conditions, probably a lot of sunshine as well. Temperatures will be around 73 around those afternoon hours. Wednesday night into Thursday, there could be maybe a couple more lake effect showers, but overall, most of us will stay dry. A couple more showers early Thursday morning, still most of us will be dry for those early morning hours. But into the afternoon, we're looking at some good, decent amount of rain move in. Could be pretty steady and heavy at times as we head into your Thursday afternoon and evening. So it is going to be pretty wet, hopefully getting some much needed rainfall heading into your Thursday afternoon and evening. As we head towards this weekend, it's the Wink Festival, and actually an opportunity to judge on Sunday. To go grab
That's
eating some
impossible.
wings with my good friend Carl Lamb, so I'm excited for that. That's on Sunday. So Saturday temperatures will be around 70 degrees. Sunday a little bit warmer though, will be around 74, but mostly sunny for
Families
days. The
don't
wind's
sound
not
so.
too bad either. It's gonna be gorgeous
Families don't
outside,
understand.
especially to eat some chicken wings. So definitely step out at the festival at Salins Field. It's gonna be a gorgeous weekend, not only for your Saturday and Sunday, but also Monday for Labor Day. We're looking at 78 degrees for the holiday. But in the meantime, temperatures are looking to be a little bit cooler. We're in the 70s for your Wednesday and Thursday. Friday a little bit cooler, only around 66 degrees. But like I said, by the weekend, we're actually looking to really warm up. And then we could get close to 80 degrees heading into the first
And you
week
found
of
village fast.
school.
Who knows? I'm not going to another. I'm not going to another. Speedrun. Speedrun.
Well, today at 4 p.m., NFL rosters will be shared with 53 players and all official work for the teams.
Probably I should have gotten more stuff.
Sports out there on Zin.
Our Kevin Carroll is joining us now to
Oh,
take
wait, I'll
a
need
look
some
at
rent.
three New York-based teams and some of the more well-known names anyways at this point. Kevin, take it away.
I'll just make a shovel and I'll probably get it today sooner.
Defending AFC East champs, Buffalo Bills had some interesting decisions to make today and one of those big quarterbacks still waiting on official word on Tre'Davious White, what his injury is, as well as what the team's plans are for injured rookie cornerback Maxwell Hairston. What we do know is that Wade Jackson, he returned to the Bills this offseason after sticking Carolina. Not too impressive this summer. Jackson to land on the Bills practice squad. However, wide receiver, another position of interest, Tyrell Shavers, making the 53-man roster this year per his agent. He's certainly up this summer, both during camp and in the preseason.
The speedrun is pretty much
More, that remains a question. He had a rough go at it at times during camp and preseason, but it still looks like he will be on that 53-man roster.
All right, speaking of Moore, he's a former high pick of the New York Jets, a second-round pick. Didn't pan out. Looks like another is following him in that path, with the Jets moving on from Malachi Corley before.
Must be tough being a Jets
Oh,
fan.
apples.
The Jets,
And
can't
again.
get out of their own
Why
way.
am I forgetting I made it?
Corley picked in the third round just last year, basically a second-round pick where the Jets grabbed him. Wide receiver will be forever remembered for dropping
Ton
the
of
ball
gravel.
before crossing the goal line for a touchdown last season. No longer a Jet, but it appears a number of teams are looking at going after his services. Still not the butt fumble, right, guys?
Could be worse, right? Yeah.
I know, right? And former Syracuse quarterbacks having a rough couple of days here. The Giants keeping 3, but Tommy Cutlets, Kev, not one of them, unfortunately.
Tough pill to swallow there, yeah. Tommy DeVito, a fan favorite,
Evens.
but was the odd man out with Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, and Jameis Winston ahead of him. DeVito burst on the scene back in 2023, ripping out 3 straight wins as an undrafted free agent. From New Jersey, quickly became a fan favorite.
If a guy wants to fill the speedrun,
Getting that nickname Tommy Cutlets. This is some of the highlights from roster cutdown day. I'll have more coming up a little bit later. Practice squads will be next.
Come on, can you really do that? You don't need Italian to do that. You gotta know how to make a cutlet and eat it.
I'm not Italian. I don't know.
I am.
I like that celebration. Kevin, it's good to see you. Thanks for the update.
That's going to do it for this half hour here on your evening on Spectrum News 1. Just a couple of minutes, we're going to have another
You're
check
kidding
of
me.
that forecast.
And can spring now. For good.
Alrighty, we're almost there. More of our top stories coming up as well, including President Trump's push to end cashless bail. Jack Arpey will have reaction here in New York, which could really impact the president's threats to withhold federal funding. Hear that.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Pasquale's Restaurant, serving you your Italian favorites for 50 years.
Watch this. I can make it hotter, I can make it colder. Hotter, colder. From my phone. Smart birdhouse.
cards and Spectrum Wi-Fi. Who likes treats? You do. That's right, yes you do.
Very impressive, son.
And one more.
Nice. Can you teach colors?
Launch party mode.
It's all about connecting with the fastest, most reliable internet from Spectrum.
Restyle your home with confidence at the interior design firm turned lifestyle store, Julie Moscato Home and Gifts. Experience knowledgeable expertise from our professional designers and transform any space into one that's uniquely you. Browse our curated collection, fine furniture and unique accessories, upholstery, wall coverings, fabrics, and other decor. Plus, we provide custom window treatments and are a Hunter Douglas showcase dealer. Visit Julie Moscato Home and Gifts, Western New York's interior design destination.
Zero in on zero down payment, 0% financing, and no leases during the Ford Summer Sales Event at the Lazy Ford. Zero down, zero APR, and $359 for a new Escape. Zero down, zero APR, $399 a month for an Explorer. Or zero down, zero APR, $459 a month for a new F-150. Zero down payment, zero APR, zero worries. Thanks to the Ford Summer Sales Event at DeLacy Ford. Ford Motor Company. From America, for America.
Although I can't guarantee the exact amount that you will receive, I can guarantee that I will battle to take 100% of the compensation that you deserve. Call me at 839-3939 for a free consultation.
Weather on the Ones is brought to you by Western New York Pain Relief. Neck pain, back pain, whatever kind of pain you are in, the pain stops here. Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes. Also available on the Spectrum News app.
I'm Camille DeLongis with your Spectrum News in 90. 10 patients who were injured in Friday's deadly bus crash on the Thruway near Pembroke remain hospitalized at ECMC. We're told each of those patients is stable. Meanwhile, one child is still in serious condition at Ocean Children's Hospital, but we're told that victim's health is improving. The National Transportation Safety Board and state police continue their investigations into what caused this crash. And the Buffalo Niagara YMCA's Camp Swan project will break ground in October. This comes a year after YMCA officials unveiled a $5 million investment into land on Elmwood Avenue near Hurdle. Camp Swan will be home to a pool, outdoor theater, and more. The site will host several programs, including a day camp, a service that officials know the community needs. Camp Swan is expected to be open to the public next year.
We also have leadership development programs for teenagers that we'll be able to offer on site. We run sports leagues that we can have on site, and also some opportunities for the community to gather and for other nonprofit organizations to be able to use our space. One of the key areas that we plan to do at this camp is to provide free safe year-round water and drowning prevention classes for the community as well.
Time now for a check outside. Here's your latest weather on the Ones forecast.
Temperatures overnight definitely on the cooler side will be around 54 degrees here in Buffalo. Down in the southern tier though, could be in the 40s. So something to keep in mind if you live down in the southern tier. Make sure you grab an extra blanket before heading to bed. We do have sunshine around for tomorrow. Few clouds, but mostly sunny conditions. Into the afternoon, warm up to be around 72 degrees. Definitely on the cooler side still, but really not too bad in my opinion. Into the evening, still very quiet.
There's an infinite problem still
Again,
here.
as we have into those overnight hours. The state is reporting a decrease in gun violence in our biggest cities here upstate.
Thanks for sticking with us here on Spectrum News 1. Communities that are part
All
of the
they
state's gun
dying
and violence
pickaxes.
elimination or
And
GILS
they
initiative
definitely
shooters
don't have any
dropped 14%
buckets.
in the first 7
So
months of
this
year.
isn't
That's
good.
48 fewer reported shots fired. The state is also touting a 21% decline in shooting deaths compared to this time last year, and 100 fewer people being shot in total.
Now, some police agencies are using this new data as evidence that their strategies are working while
Seriously,
others
how
are looking
lucky
at
do
the
I have to
data.
be cannot
Wendy
spawn
Price
next to a
joining us
village?
now
It's not even
with
close to
more
one.
perspectives and how police are keeping your streets safe. Wendy, thanks so much.
so much for joining us.
Yeah, well, Marissa Casey, law enforcement officials agree that any shooting is one too many. And of course, though, they welcome a decrease in the numbers. But those numbers vary across the state. The police chief here in Rochester and the chief in Albany talk about why.
We have a lot of great work happening with the Mental Department every day.
Statement chiefs of police across upstate New York would agree on. And despite staffing shortages, their hard work is paying off. Albany Police Chief Brendan Cox says the decrease in the gun violence numbers in his city is thanks to a
I need
combination of
iron,
factors.
but I don't
It's
have
the hard
any
work
iron.
of the men and women of the department every single day, and also that partnership that they have with the community, the partnership they
Here's
have with
my
other law
level there.
enforcement agencies in the area, of just continuing to stay focused.
From January 1st through July 31st of this year, police departments in 4 cities that participated in the state's gun violence reduction program saw significant reductions in shooting incidents with injury over this time last year. Albany saw a 53% decline, Buffalo 25%, Syracuse a 10% decline, and Rochester an 8% decline.
That 8% is really not a very accurate way to look at it. We'd like to stay away from, year-to-year comparisons. So also in that GIV report,
Don't worry, I won't bother you.
average with comparisons. So if you look at the drop in Rochester since 2021, it was much larger than 8%.
Rochester Police Chief David Smith weighing in on the discrepancy between Albany and Rochester's decreases.
There's a drop. We're very happy with the drop. As the mayor says, we're gratified but not satisfied. The other thing that, folks need to realize is the police department, as a police department, we're never going to overcome the fact that Rochester is home to 4 of the 5 poorest zip codes in the state. There's a lot of socioeconomic factors that simply are beyond law enforcement and beyond what our capabilities are to influence. Well, the good thing about what the state has done through the GIVE initiative, the Gun and Violence Elimination Initiative, is that all of the agencies across the state are able to share information.
There are 28 police departments in upstate New York that are part of this GIVE initiative, and they are required to report all shooting incidents, whether they involve injuries or deaths. And really, this varies from Casey, depending on which community you are in. That's why there are so many different varying numbers. So it depends on the community.
Wendy, thank you so much. Justice Department is asking a federal court to dismiss a lawsuit filed by members of the Proud Boys, including one from Rochester, over their January 6, 2021 Capitol attack convictions. Dominic Pizzola and the other plaintiffs claim their convictions were the result of, quote, political prosecution. 5 of them sued in June for $100 million. The DOJ says the suit should be thrown out because, quote, the malicious prosecution claim lacks merit and the United States is not liable for punitive damages. Agency's defense of prosecutions appears to conflict with what Republicans and President Trump's allies argue. They claim the cases against people who participated in the attack amounted to political persecution. President Trump commuted Pizzola's sentence when he re-entered office.
This week's executive order that will look to punish areas that use cashless bail, sending shockwaves throughout New York State. That was a portion of the controversial bail reform laws that the state has been tweaking since they were adopted more than 5 years ago now. Capitol Tonight's Jack Arpey is joining us to break down the reaction to this order. Okay, Jack, what do you hear?
Marissa, Governor Vivian Nutter addressed this today. She accused the president of mischaracterizing the situation, saying New York does not have cashless bail, that there are serious crimes that are bail eligible, and she went through those several cycles during state budget negotiations to tighten up those laws further. But a quick read of the executive order does indicate that the language is pretty broad, and it does potentially leave New York vulnerable to the cuts that would be associated with what the Trump administration is trying to do now. Hochul said she spoke with the president a few days ago, apparently over the weekend, about this, as well as a potential National Guard deployment in New York, and she said she told the president that if she needs his help, she'll let him know.
We did our job in the state legislature to tighten up laws that had gone way too long being loose and not protecting the people in the city and the state. Victims are not having their rights adjudicated. we made some changes. I mean, serious crimes are down as well as they've been in 6 years.
All right, Jack, so we heard from the governor there. What about people on the other side of the aisle? What are they saying? Because even on the Democratic side of the aisle, there are people saying we have to take another look at this.
There certainly are, and obviously Representative Elise Stefanik, who is, many believe gearing up to challenge the governor, wasted no time getting involved with this and trying to tie the governor to that initial 2019 law, as well as saying she didn't do enough in the intervening years to fix it, posting on social media that she would be working to lead the effort in Congress to codify this executive order with companion legislation, saying 2 law New Yorkers have suffered violent crimes, even been killed due to county, local, and single-party Democratic rules, dangerous anti-police and pro-criminal justice policy. Now, meanwhile, President Trump made some interesting comments today in response to the governor's comments, saying that he, quote, gets along with Kathy, and he seemed to leave it up to her as far as a potential National Guard deployment, saying, quote, if she'd like to do that, I do it, and claiming that he wants these potential additional National Guard deployments to be, quote, friendly before then going on to list, only Democratic cities.
The excitement and joy for students and parents across the country has, for many, too many, turned to terror. Over the last week, at least 9 colleges and universities received fake threats of active shooters. Law enforcement is training in front. Just today, the University of Arkansas, West Virginia University, the University of Kentucky, and Central Georgia American College, all of them were swatted. Situations where police rush in and clear an area in response to fake calls about shootings on the campus. Shootings that are not happening, thankfully, but still, it is terrorizing the communities. Villanova University, the University of South Carolina, and the University of Tennessee also all experienced similar calls. Let's bring in CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell. Josh, what in the world is going on?
Well, a sad reality in this country is that students and teachers have to deal with school shootings, but now they're also having to deal with these terrifying hoaxes that are coming in this latest wave. As you mentioned yesterday, 6 alone. This current wave started last week whenever reports of shots were being fired came in at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. Officers responded to reports that someone had opened fire. That's a few hours later at Villanova University in
Not
Pennsylvania.
ending my
Very
feed
similar
run
report.
because of a
Again, these caused
skeleton.
widespread chaos. They prompted a massive police response as authorities tried to determine if they're actually dealing with a gunman. Take a listen here. We're getting some of the reaction from some of the students, including this law student at Villanova, who described what happened.
A lot of law enforcement on the scene. They were looking for the shooter or the perpetrator in the building. But it was definitely a scary scene, and they did a great job getting everyone out.
What was the phone call like with your parents? How did you freaking out?
Absolutely, they were very scared, but they were very grateful I was okay, and I'm just very lucky.
So obviously the good news, it didn't happen, but these can often cause injuries as people are fleeing, and obviously they can be very dangerous. To that end, local law enforcement, they're vowing to try to get to the bottom of who may be responsible for these latest incidents. Take a listen here to the district attorney there just outside Philadelphia.
My office, Criminal Investigation Division, the FBI, we're all going to work to try to get to the bottom of who might have done this. Because if this was indeed a cruel hoax, this is a crime. And we will track you down if it's the last thing we do.
Now, Jake, you and I have covered so many of these, but one thing that's worth noting is that not only have there been injuries, but there was also a man who was shot and killed in one of these past incidents when police arrived, mistook him for an actual threat. So, although these are hoaxes, they're very dangerous.
It's not incredibly new, this crime, even if this trend is spreading. But you say it's evolved with new technology. What do you mean?
Yeah, this goes back decades. It started people going after celebrities. I talked to law enforcement experts who say that certain motivations have changed. Sometimes it's people just trying to get attention. Sometimes it's they're acting on some kind of grievance. But the through line that's making it difficult for investigators now is that a lot of these actors are using voice over internet. They're spoofing their numbers, and so that they're taking pains to try to mask their identity. However, law enforcement has noticed certain trends, and this is information they're pushing out to agencies across the country. Look at some of these indicators. If it's only one call of an active shooter that's coming into police, that could be a red flag. In this day and age, so many people flood 911 whenever there's last thing they've seen is that oftentimes the caller's tone doesn't match the urgency of the moment. Someone might be very subdued in their voice, but they're saying that there's a shooting happening in front of them. All that said, these people continue to evolve. I mean, just think about this sinister. After this whole thing, Jake, a lot of these callers will now call in and then play the sound of fake gunshots in the background. So again, law enforcement, their job is to try to stop a threat if it's there, cause chaos, and it's certainly dangerous, as I said.
Have authorities had any luck with making any arrests?
As difficult as they are, we have seen some arrests take place. The FBI, under the past director Christopher Wray, created this task force with law enforcement agencies across the country, again, trying to help them determine if there's a swatting incident in their jurisdiction. Could that have been related to another one? Is this the same perpetrator we're dealing with? There have been international arrests that have been made with the FBI working with its foreign partners. And just talk about how severe some of the consequences are. There was a teen here in California that was arrested this year. He was just sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for making calls just like this.
Dr. Campbell, thanks so much. Coming up, the pressure from within, massive protests today demanding that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu agree to a proposal to free the hostages. The Israeli ambassador to the United States will join us ahead.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up fast to make things right. Surf Pro, like it never even happened.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the things that just will never come out.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fight over in just 1 wash. Guaranteed.
Can a mortgage move you forward? Absolutely. SoFi has helped over 130,000 people take a leap toward homeownership. Join SoFi Plus and get a $1,000 home mortgage discount.
New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. For clean, even mama poops up. Just grab a pad and go. Built-in solution traps dirt and locks it away.
Wow, still away.
The upgraded strip has 75% more scrubbing power.
Still clean.
And with the new locking head, getting into tight spaces is simple.
Can I borrow it?
The all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe. The mother of all cleans.
Struck out with the cane seats. Important things aren't worth compromising. At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great savings.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids' independence. Set parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it. Still on budget. Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
My kids can't hide anything from me. Especially when they've been using toilet paper that doesn't hold up.
Charmin Ultra Strong has a diamond blue texture that's more durable. And it cleans better, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin. What is that musty smell? Damn! Damn!
Hey, language. Further traps excess moisture to eliminate musty smells. Get rid of the damp with Damp Rid.
All he wants is an escape. Into sheets washed with Downy Gentle Soft and Fresh. The subtle, delicate scent and softness. Downy breathes life into your dream.
Dry hair? You need moisture. Stop. OGX penetrating oil. Fast hydration that goes deep. OGX.
Spectrum Mobile does help us keep connected as a family.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our life.
We're constantly connected, both in-house and out of the home.
We switched to Spectrum Mobile and got a better plan for a lower price. Spectrum's perfect for us.
Spectrum Mobile customers can add more lines of unlimited mobile for only $30 a month.
So I'm at the Garden, and this guy's talking about this incredible on-court dining experience where you get great food, get to hang with the players. So
So I go up to the usher and I say, hey, put me on the list. And he says, no. And I say, well, I don't normally do this, but I'm a distiller. And he's like, nothing. And I say, maybe there's another bin you might put into your pocket, Mr. Ben Franklin. And he says, that's legal. And it's not about who you are. It's just about having a sapphire reserve. So, I'm on the list. And I make him arrested, so it was a good night.
I'm Natasha Bertrand at the Pentagon, and this is CNN.
A serious moment in our world lead now. On this date 4 years ago, amid the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, a terrorist in the crowd at the Abbey Gate, which is a slave gate to Kabul airport, detonated a suicide bomb. That blast killed 13 members of the U.S. military, including 11 Marines, 1 soldier, and 1 Navy corporal. And along with the ensuing chaos, about 170 Afghans were killed. Afghans who were desperately trying to flee from the Taliban takeover. They also were killed. Some of the Gold Star families were at the White House yesterday. President Trump signed a proclamation commemorating the sacrifice of their loved ones. And 2 of those Gold Star moms are with us now. Christy Chamblee is the mother-in-law of U.S. Marine Sergeant Nicole G. You might recall Nicole G from her Instagram post that's showing right now. It's about holding an Afghan child that she wrote on Instagram. I love my job. Also with us is Paula Knaus, mother of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Knaus, who was 23 and originally from the state of Tennessee. Thank you both for your sacrifice and your willingness to talk, especially on today, a horrible, horrible anniversary. Let's start with you, Christy. Tell us about Nicole. What do you want our viewers to know about her? What do you want them to remember about her?
She was a ray of light and embraced the attitude, a positive mental attitude to cure all of your problems. She was a constant source of encouragement for her fellow Marines and for her family and loved ones. And she would want to continue with that encouragement.
Paula, tell us about your son, Ryan.
Ryan lit up a room as his brothers in the armed forces told me he could walk into a room and see the positive in something. It showed his maturity as he grew older and wiser in being a team player. And one thing that's just remarkable about Ryan was that he used his brains with his brawn in all of this, and so the PSYOPs unit was perfect match for him.
Both of you were at the White House yesterday, along with other Gold Star families, when President Trump signed this proclamation honoring your loved ones. Christy, what was that like?
It was really amazing. It was a moment I'll never forget. To have their names echo in the halls of the White House was spectacular.
And Paula, what was it like for you?
Well, I'm just appreciative that we finally have a president who is not going to allow the tragedy of our children or the tragedy of all of the events that happened in the ensuing August 26, 2021 debacle to be swept under the rug. And it is great to hear that there's a continued push to see justice for these children.
The presidential proclamation is unusual. In addition to the well-deserved words of praise for your loved ones, it also had some very pointed criticisms of the former president, President Biden. Do you two or any of the Gold Star families, do you ever hear from any members of the Biden administration? Let me start with you, Christy.
Never. No. Not once, never.
Paul.
Of course. Back in 22 in Memorial Day, it was a sad time when the President Biden and I met face-to-face in the White House, and it was one of the most saddest moments of my life as a mother. Coming face-to-face with him, his first words out of his mouth as I walked across to meet him was, "I can understand if you're angry." Well, I'm glad he did, because America was as forgetful of what was happening also. And as I grieved as a mother in front of him, he had no sympathy or empathy on such a incredible day as Memorial Day to just show a little kindness. And I always have said it was such a character mark for him to have not at least had empathy and sympathy in that moment when a mother's crying in front of him on Memorial Day invitation to be there.
You mentioned that the investigation is ongoing. The U.S. military did conduct 2 reviews of the bombing, and those reviews concluded that it was a lone bomber carrying out the attack, dismissing reports of gunfire at the time. The Pentagon also said that the members had not previously seen the suspected bomber ahead of the attack, but they believed they had, originally because of conflated intelligence reporting. Christy, are you satisfied with the conclusions of the 2 investigations so far?
I'm not satisfied so far because it doesn't give us a path forward to make sure this never happens again. We don't get to bring our heroes back. We don't get that choice, but we want to make sure this never, ever happens again. And you have to learn from your mistakes. First, you have to acknowledge those mistakes were made.
Paula, next year will mark 5 years since the attack. There are sure to be even more events to mark the anniversary. Do you Gold Star families, do you keep in touch? And how do you cope with the passage of time and all of this? It's such a horrible anniversary.
Well, it's been 4 years, and there are times when the White House will call on behalf of the president and his cabinet to bring us together so that they can say, hey, we haven't forgotten you. We haven't forgotten your children. We know them by name, and we will never forget what happened so that we do not allow that to happen again in our administration.
And I know one of the masterminds, so to speak, of the terrorist attack is currently in Virginia, and he will be tried for killing for his role in that horrible day. Christy Shamblin, Paula Knauself, thank you so much. Please know that we have not forgotten your loved ones either, and everybody watching right now, I'm sure, has nothing but love and support and prayers for you.
Thank you, sir, and love you, Christy.
The term unprecedented coming up yet again to describe actions by the president. This time his efforts could have massive implications for the U.S. economy and your money. We'll get into that next.
I forgot to wash my work shirt.
Just wear it again.
I don't stop. Don't block. And it keeps our clothes fresh all day.
Ooh, I'm gonna be feeling it at work today. She smells good. I'm actually paying attention. Smell unstoppable.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi.
And now I'm back in the picture. Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi helps visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And with Skyrizi, many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years. Don't use allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Now's the time to take control of your Crohn's. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
That's kind of decent.
You need to know that you can hold the grapes. And it sounds endless. Are you sure about that? You look close enough. You'll see those strings vibrating. You're still in the game.
And talk to me about the very real numbers here.
So actually, the leading cause of unintentional death are falls in the U.S., and that equates to 32,000 deaths each year.
Oh my gosh, and that's the thing that's so preventable.
Absolutely.
For many, the stairs now pose the biggest threat to their safety. Stairlift can be the key to getting your life back. When you buy from Acorn Stairlift, you're buying from the most trusted name in the industry. Acorn Stairlift has the most rigorous quality and safety standards available. Acorn Club monitors your stairlift activity, providing you and your family with peace of mind.
I really get a sense for just how streamlined this is. Look at all the space that I have here. Acorn made it possible for us to live in our whole house again. For you at home, are you ready for your peace of mind? Liberate yourself. Get yourself an Acorn Stairlift today.
Call 800-929-3558.
It is absolutely amazing.
with less pain and swelling from active psoriatic arthritis. Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. Some patients even felt less fatigued. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
Reba here, selling your home. Don't settle for just any old agent. You want to get real results. With Realtor.com's new choice seller, you can compare agents' proposals and sell the home. Realtor.com.
Struck out with the cheap seats. Important things aren't worth compromising. At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great savings.
Welcome to the speed round. Bye.